Good morning, Roll Gang, and welcome on in to another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I am your host, Processor Sky, here with a midweek mailbag episode of this show about to blaze up a joint ski of this gelato and talk about some questions from the Roll Gangsters. I got 4 questions collected from the Roll Gangsters on Twitter, and I am super excited to answer them with you guys on the show this morning. While I break down the herb to smoke up on this Wake and Bake, I am going to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the show because they make shit happen for us while helping out the Roll Gang. First and foremost, Oaksterdam University, the first ever cannabis college and the place to go to claim your stake in this budding industry. If you're trying to learn how to do some home growing, because at the end of the day, that's going to be the most important part of the industry, is learning how you can provide yourself with your own medicine. And if you're trying to learn how to grow some amazing bud in your very own house, look no further than Oaksterdam University and their home grow course. It is a great way to learn how to pitch a tent in your garage or your closet and learn how to grow some top shelf buds. Also, you can learn how to start a cannabis business. You can learn about compliance. They teach classes by cops so that they can teach you how to deal with a possible problem if it arises, ever smoking and are confronted by the police. You get some strategy tips. Oaksterdam University, a cannabis college to gain your cannabis knowledge. And also, this episode is brought to you by the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool, the original way to roll a dime every time. I'm about to use my handy-dandy high bud tenders rolling spoon to procure myself up a nice little joint and smoke it with you guys, the Roll Gangsters. Also brought to you by and for the Roll Gangsters, tuning in every weekday morning at 9 a.m., noon Eastern. It is really a blessing and a pleasure to be able to come on here and wake and bake every morning with you guys, because after all, we have awoke, so now we must have a smoke. And if we're gonna have a smoke, we all wake and bake every morning, we might as well do it together, Roll Gang. Super excited to be here with you. If you want to participate in next week's midweek mailbag, hit up at rolling_spoon on Twitter and just send me a mailbag tweet. I'll send you a DM looking for mailbag questions. That's how I normally do it. But anyways, I am so excited to answer some questions from at Mike Johns, at Inglewood Alternative, an actual dispensary in Inglewood, California, and at Grookey and at 420 of Spades. Super excited to answer these questions from the Roll Gangsters. But let's go ahead and spark this dime. Went ahead and rolled up a nice little pearl of some gelato this morning. Got to. Just like every single weekday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Rolling a dime every time. Let's spark this baby up. What do you guys say? Hope you guys are sparking some good herb this morning and having a nice wake and bake this beautiful Wednesday, November morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So the first question here on this midweek mailbag episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake comes from at Mike Johns III. At Mike Johns III on Twitter says, where did you get that mug? Great fucking question. Where did I get this mug? This one right here. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I got this mug as a gift from my parents. Isn't that awesome? My parents got me this mug even before I started the show. Wake and Bake Coffee Company. What an awesome gift from my family. And you can see it's actually a bong. So if I put the joint in here, you know, this is like where you would put your bowl. And then there's a carb right here. How about it? The Wake and Bake mug. Yo, shout out at Mike Johns III for the awesome question. I didn't know people could really even notice it sitting right here, but definitely one of my favorite pieces of display here. Got the mug, got a nice little pot of spoons, my rolling spoon display case, and the Wake and Bake mug. Absolutely. As well as the pot. Woo! This thing is almost the size of my head. So the next question comes from at Inglewood Alternative. Shout out IAM Inglewood Alternative Meds in Inglewood, California for the awesome question. What's your favorite Las Vegas edible? Yo, what a great question. So Las Vegas cannabis industry has a bunch of really developed edible companies. I have two specific favorites. My favorite gummy is Groons. You know, so most edibles have just some THC distillate activated to get you stoned, but Groons actually have G-R-O-N. It's pronounced Groon. G-R-O with the two dots on top. Groon pearls. There are these tiny little pearls that have 10 milligrams of THC as well as other cannabinoids to help your body's recovery. You know, some CBN to help you sleep, some CBD to help you with pain. And you can get 1-to-1-to-1 ratioed edibles. My favorite gummies on the Las Vegas cannabis market. The Groon Pearls. And my other favorite edible, shout out the squad over at Sip. Oh man, where's my logo? Yeah, Sip, baby. If you've ever tried a Sip, they're these little shots. They're drinks with nano THC, which means it basically hits right away. You can take a tiny little swig of a sip and swish it around in your mouth and it starts to tingle. I fucking love Sips. So Sips and Groon Pearls are my favorite edibles in the Las Vegas cannabis market. Come and get some Groons from me over at Medicine, 4 to midnight tonight. Shout out at Inglewood Alternative for the awesome question. And hit up Inglewood Alternative Meds if you're in Inglewood, California for your medical cannabis needs. So the next question comes from at Grookey with 2 Y's on Twitter. But before I get on into it, shout out WWnB University. The first ever cannabis college is the place to go to boost your cannabis knowledge. Use promo code ROLLINGSPOON for 10% off your tuition for your growing course, your cannabis horticulture, or cannabis business course. You name it, you can learn it about the cannabis plant at WWnB University. The best cannabis professors and classes in the industry. And also by the Rolling Spoon Cannabis Multi-Tool, helping you to roll a dime every time. You got the grinder scoop, you got the grinder poke, you got the straight edge to help you collect it all. And then whenever you are smoking, you can lay the spoon on the straight edge, sitting up. And it works like a coaster for your drinks. You can put it down while it's lit. Just lean it in the grooves of your rolling spoon. You can use both your hands, do everything. Pick it up, rip it, put it back down. Joint coaster mode. Helping you to roll a dime every time and just your supporting role in your ritual. Needed both hands for that cough, apparently. So shout out at Grookey, Grookeyy, for this next question. Have you gotten your third COVID vax? What a great question. You know, I have not gotten my third COVID vax. I have not gotten my second or my first COVID vax. In fact, I've never even got COVID. You know, honestly, Roll Gang, I know it exists, but like I've kind of pretended that it was a farce, and it's treated me well. I've been sick. I mean, maybe I had it, but I wasn't that sick. I was never sick enough to not hop on the wake and bake or go to work. So I'm pretty sure I didn't have COVID. I am not vaccinated. So if that's sketchy for you guys, I'm sorry. Stay away from your processor, but I don't have COVID. I'm not sick, and I haven't gotten my vaccine. I'm sorry if that. I know it's a touchy subject, but someone's got to convince me. If you want me to get it, you gotta convince me to get it. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I wouldn't have a reason to, but yeah, shout out Grookey for the question. I think it's important to put that out there, so really wanted to answer it on the show. And the last question here on the Weekday Wake and Bake midweek mailbag episode comes from at 420 of Spades on Twitter. Says, what is your favorite casino and your favorite casino game? Just fave casino and casino game from 420 of Spades on Twitter. I absolutely love this question, actually. You know, I have a lot of favorites here. You know, from the Cosmo, the win is completely elite. The Resorts World is unbelievable. But I absolutely love the Circa and the Luxor. You know, the prize jewel of Fremont Street, the Circa. And the Luxor is that beam you can see no matter where you are. So I live super close to the Luxor, and I kind of use the Luxor beam as my North Star here in Vegas. Sometimes, if I don't know where I am, all I have to do is look up into the night sky, and I can see this beam and basically follow it home. So I love the Luxor inside and out. It's super cool. It's a pyramid shape, a modern day pyramid made out of glass. And on the inside, you can see the shape. You know, the hotel rooms climb up the sides of the pyramid. It's kind of crazy, but I love playing blackjack in the casino in the Luxor. They've got the cheapest blackjack on the strip, $15 or $10 depending on the day. And over at the Circa, they have the best sports book in Vegas. It's honestly unbelievable. The best place to watch sports here. And I love to go and place a little bet. Me and my homies Zach B and Tina Ullman, great friends of the show. We were over at the Circa the other day. I had them look at pictures of all of the UFC fighters on last Saturday's card, and we each picked a random fighter. Mine wasn't random. I picked Zhang Weili, who was basically guaranteed to win, and she did. But Zach and Tina also picked a fighter while we were at the Circa Sportsbook, and we hit the parlay, turned one of my $10 bills into 40. So shout out Tina and Zach for helping me win some casino games over at the Circa, and my other favorite, the Luxor, here in Vegas. Shout out at 420 of Spades for the awesome question. Absolutely love answering questions from the Roll Gangsters and coming on to Wake and Bake with you guys, because after all, we have awoke, so now we must have a smoke. And it's just better to do it together. I love hopping on in session with you guys, Roll Gang. Shout out everybody tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys are all the shit. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for a Can of News Thursday episode of the show, breaking down the latest and greatest in cannabis industry news here in Las Vegas for MJ BizCon week. It is going to be an awesome episode tomorrow. Make sure to tune in 9 a.m., noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Still a crazy new schedule. Moved it from 8 a.m. We're on the third week of the 9 a.m. schedule and absolutely loving popping on here at 9 a.m. to sesh with you guys. A lot more sleep from my job. Work until midnight over at the shop, Medicine, and now chilling with the Roll Gangsters. Love you so much. Thank you for tuning in for another episode, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah!